Hello students, today we are going to study the first chapter of class 8 Honeydew. The name of the chapter is The Best Christmas Present in the World. Now the title is in superlative, the best. What is this present? What is a present of Christmas which is the best Christmas present in the world? I am sure students you must be very excited to know what that gift is. So hold your patience and wait till the end. You will love the present which is given, and it is really the best Christmas present in the world in the chapter. So let us understand what this chapter is all about. This chapter is set in during the time of World War One. During the time of World War One, when the war between the British and the Germans was going on. And can you students think of any solution to war? War is an inevitable crime. War is inevitable. Nobody can stop war. Every country indulges in war. It is good that nowadays our countries or the other countries, they do not indulge in war, but they all are gearing up towards war. They're all totally ready for any kind of war. See the nuclear missiles, they have geared up so much. But now during the time of COVID-19, this is such a war. This is a war with a shadow enemy whom we cannot see. But all the countries are failing at it. All the countries are failing at fighting this war. So this is a story about war. Can you think of any solution to war? How can we end up a solution? How can we end up a war? So in this chapter, we are going to really learn a very beautiful way how to resolve war, how to find the solution of a war. You will come to know in this chapter that what a beautiful way they have resolved a war in this chapter. Let us start this chapter. Before I start this chapter, let me tell you, this chapter is written by Michael Merpergo. The chapter is written by Michael Merpergo, and he is the narrator, and he finds a letter in an old table which he buys from junk shop. Now let us start what is written in the letter and what the letter is about and whom it was written to. Let's see. Let's get started. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. So the writer is saying that he saw the table in a junk shop in Bridport. Bridport is a place. And what kind of table it was? It was a roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. So the table belonged to early 19th century and it was made up of oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. This one was in bad condition and the roll top in several pieces. One leg clumsily mended, scorch marks all down one side. It was going for very little money. I thought I could restore it. So the writer really wanted a roll top desk in his life, but unfortunately this kind of tables were costly. So when he saw this old table, broken one, and it was clumsily mended and the table had burnt marks, the table was totally burnt from one side. So he thought that let me buy, as it was being sold in a very cheap price. So he thought that he will buy and restore it. He would repair it. The writer said it would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. So he really wanted the table. He thought that it would be a risk, but he really wanted it very much. So he bought the table and he brought back to the garage and he started repairing the table on Christmas Eve. Now students, Christmas Eve means the night or the evening before Christmas. That is 24th December. Let's see what happens next. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. So he removed the roll top and he took out the drawers. The veneer means a layer of plastic or decorative wood on furniture of cheap wood. So he removed the layer. It looked like water damage to me. So the kind of damage on the table, it was being seen as water. Previously we have heard that the table was also burnt and it was also having water damage. Both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. The last drawer was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist, and drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath, a secret drawer. So the writer says the table was totally damaged by fire and water both. So let us assume that the table was burnt in a fire. When the house has got fire, the table might have got burnt, and fire brigade, when they came, they tried to extinguish the fire with water. So the writer was trying to remove all the parts of it. The last drawer was stuck fast. It was too tight. So he tried all the force he could, and he opened it. And when he opened, there was a space, a secret drawer. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined notepaper. So in that secret drawer, so the writer got a small black tin box. It was sellotaped, and on that box it was written on a lined paper and written in a shaky handwriting. What was written? Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. So what was written on the black tin box? Jim's last letter. Now who is Jim? We will come to know. And it was received on January 25th, 1915, to be buried with me when the time comes. So the owner of the letters had written that this letter will be buried with me when I die. I knew as I did it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. So tell me, students, is it a good habit to see or check someone else's belongings? No, totally not. But the writer is admitting that it was wrong of me to open the box and see the letter, but his curiosity, he couldn't contain the curiosity, and he thought of opening it. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26th, 1914. So, out of curiosity, he opened the letter, and on that letter, the letter was written to Mrs. Jim Macpherson. So previously we have read that on the box of the black tin box it was written Jim's last letter. So Jim might be the husband, and that husband, Jim Macpherson, is writing this letter to his wife, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, who lives at 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. So this is the place where Mrs. Jim Macpherson lived. So the writer said, I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at top. So when was this letter written? The letter was written on December 26, 1914. So I told you 1914 was the time of World War I, and see, December 26 means the day after Christmas this letter was written. So a very good setting of the story is being made. Now we are really getting interested what happens next in the story. Let us solve this comprehension check question. What did the author find in a junk shop? So students, can you guess what did he find? Yes, he found a roll top desk. What did he find in a secret drawer? He found a small black tin box. What do you think had put it in there? Sorry, who do you think had put it in there? So the owner of the letter, or the receiver of the letter, had put it there. That is Mrs. Jim Macpherson. So let us see what was written in the letter. The letter is very interesting. So I would like to tell you to hold your excitement. What is written in the letter and how the war was ended. Okay, let us see in the next video. Till then, you study this and have a good day.